is.
Yeah.
And then we commence.
There we go.
Although you look like you're enjoying your sippy day.
Oh, I am. Obviously, I am. Yeah.
But yeah, we're going to get the show going.
Yeah. The door.
You know what? I'm too lazy. I'll ask someone. I'll ask someone to close it when someone passes through or something like that. Anyways, although I said last time you're gonna start the show, so can you do the honors and start the show?
Oh God, this guy.
3, 2, 1.
Welcome everybody. I'm chilling here with Anele, the host of Goodfellas Podcast. We've got the very beautiful Anita here as our guest, and this is OD's the co-host. Let me hand it over to Anela, man. Kick the show, bro.
Oh wow. Can I tell you something? At some point when I was about to start asking him to announce the show, I told myself he's just going to refuse.
Yeah.
But you delivered. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm proud. Well done. It's the glasses.
How do I introduce the show for the first time? And goddamn, we are impressed. I'm impressed. But anyways, more than anything, what impresses me beyond is the fact that we have a guest today by the name of Anita Shayo. Listen, I'll add those sound effects afterwards.
Okay, so I don't need to do them.
I'll put them in later. Anyways, Anita, thank you so much, by the way, for having yourself for coming to our show.
Thank you for having me.
We really appreciate your blessings and your presence. It's awesome.
Thank you.
Yes, when we kickstarted, I'd like for us to do something a little bit different than usual.
Oh goodness!
Before we start the show, a shot of Bourgeois gin. Wouldn't be a bad idea. I don't know. We're gonna call Odo our bartender. He's doing a lot today.
Guys. Why must I be affiliated?
No, I'm not okay.
But why should I be the one affiliated with liquor?
He never really paused.
So now's his chance.
So shine, Odo, shine.
Bring your glass over, man. Bring that one.
Yeah, knock us out. Actually, where's my glass? Oh,
there it is.
Guys, just to say a side note, I hope today we don't pass out while we're busy talking.
Yeah, no. I might.
But trust me, I think today is going to be a good show.
I think so too.
I'm crossing fingers
excited.
actually. Usually when we have guests, what happens now? We get a little bit on the edge because we're not used to having people over. We're used to just talking shit the whole fucking time by ourselves.
Well, that's what this is about, right?
There's a first time for everything, I guess.
Exactly.
Please pass it through there, Anita, to the gentleman.
Well,
there.
cheers to it, guys.
Yeah, man.
These are quite big topped glasses. Guys, let's cheers to the show.
Cheers.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Apparently you're supposed to look people in the eye.
Eyes.
Otherwise, it's like how many years of bad sex they say. I don't know how true that is.
I actually don't know, and I hope I don't know.
Anyways, cheers, guys. Let's have it. They saw me drinking. They saw me drinking. Now everyone knows it's out there at home. But anyways, we're back at the show.
Yes.
Anita Shayo is here today.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for for us having you, or allowing yourself to have you over. Get what I'm saying?
Yes,
English escapes sometimes. Anyways, before we start the show, man, there's one thing that is pretty much the most interesting. I'm joking, not the most interesting thing, but we have to ask. Oh, Anita, who is Anita?
Man. I'm sure a lot of people have got that question in mind as well, man. They just want to know who is Anita.
You guys are having Anita over. Who is this Anita?
Well, that can take a couple of days to explain.
Just move a bit closer to the mic, Anita.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, yes, Anita, we forgot to say earlier.
Yes.
Just be very wary of the proximity to the microphone.
Okay, so I'm not shouting because I'm really loud.
Even if you shout, I'll adjust here. I'll work the magic here. So who is Anita?
Look, Anita's layers. I am originally from Tanzania.
Oh, wow.
Grew up in Coxted, KJS girl.
Guys, wait, can I just say something? We all KJS here.
I know.
You know that?
Hey,
no, I'm not
it's
KJS.
crazy.
No, you KJS.
I'm joking.
Okay, I was going to say stop, I'm sure.
Yeah.
KJS girl. My family's been here.
Yeah.
And look, the daughter of Dr. Shayo, which everyone I'm sure already knows, and Mum Shayo. Yes.
The hustler. Mum Shayo,
the hustler, the talk of the town. I love her.
Talk of the town.
Yes. Look, she's amazing. She taught me my work ethic.
Yeah.
Yes.
But basically, I grew up here, went to boarding school. That taught me how to be professional and individual, independent. And then from there, UCT. Look, my teachers at school thought I'd be a great lawyer because I'm very argumentative.
Yes.
And that didn't work out so much. Moved to Durban, did advertising and marketing. And that's kind of what shifted me into the space and career that I'm in now.
Currently in.
Yes.
Sorry, man. Speaking about education, you literally skipped a phase of your education. Yeah. You jumped straight to varsity, and I was expecting you're going to tell me a little bit about
the
high school. Because we all know that
there's a
we all
lot.
KJS.
That's primary school.
Yes.
Now, let's talk about the high school.
Now, high school. Look, an all-girls boarding school was a culture shock.
Yeah.
But it was probably one of the best experiences I've ever had my whole life. Most of my best friends are still from there.
Okay.
It's just, it's a completely different lifestyle. It just taught me how to understand the individuals around you. Very strict environment. So like I say, when we had the opportunity to get out, we got out.
You made the most out of the opportunity.
Yes, 100%.
Speaking of girls' school, I just have to ask, just for certainty, what is the high school that you went to?
I went to St. Anne's Diocese of
Petermaritzburg, if I'm not mistaken.
Hilton.
Yeah. Shit, I actually know quite a couple of people that went to the same school as you, but I'm not going to mention any names. Because, man,
please don't.
I'm not trying to be incriminating myself. So, Petermaritzburg High School, any extreme or exciting activities that went down in those regions of the Midlands?
Look, there was West Hilton, my class.
It's an all-girls high school. So I'm sure there's some extreme...
there were a lot of fun things that happened.
Sorry, Anita, before you carry on, I have to just ask. So, KJS, we all know it's I almost said unilateral. There's a term, co-ed.
Yes.
It's a co-ed school. Boys and girls are all there together. And then you transitioned from the primary school, which was boys and girls. And then you went to a high school that consisted only of women.
Yes.
How was the experience there?
Like I said, the first couple of months were very challenging, especially because I was a full boarder. So it wasn't like I'm going to go home to mom when I feel like I'm sad. It was tough, but we did have the opportunity to socialize with the likes of the brother schools, Hilton and my class. So when we had that opportunity, it was like flourish, go out and enjoy yourselves. But being in the constricted environment of being in an all-girls school, it just kind of embeds
at the teenage age,
it creates that naughty girl vibe.
That's exactly where I was getting. I sit down and I'm like, okay, cool. I remember growing up, I was thinking one of the experiences that I desire to have is that freedom of being away from home and parents and all that jazz. And I was like, okay, fine. If I was to find myself in a place where my parents are not there, I'll go wild. Did you actually encounter extreme wildness, mild wildness, no wildness?
Worse than my parents.
So you were
very controlled.
Whatever you guys were thinking was just a bleep on the screen. I made sure. You know what, Annette? I'm not so familiar with Petermaritzburg in the Midlands, etc., but I've driven past there a couple of times. I know. When you think about people that stay there and the type of groove events they do, I can't help but wonder, what do people in Petermaritzburg do when they're having fun?
Gibbs, don't underestimate Petermaritzburg, my guy.
Okay.
People
Are
they
you
can
speaking
get
from experience by any chance?
people they can get really wild, my guy.
Yeah.
In terms of entertainment.
But I don't know any Joels there in Petermaritzburg. I stayed in Durban, by the way. Are there any specific Joels that you're familiar or you would highlight as these were the Joels?
Listen, with Petermaritzburg, I think it's a similar situation with Durban. If you look at Florida Road in Durban, if you look at the club scene there, it's not consistent.
Okay.
You'll get a particular club that's going to be hot, maybe for a couple of months, and then go there go there like a year later. It's
completely different story.
It's non-existent anymore. There's a new one. So I think PMP is similar to that.
Okay. I'm just interested in finding out during Anita's time in her high school reign. What places did you guys visit?
There was Crowded House.
Yes, I wanted to mention that, but
that was a go-to.
The way you guys are like in such extreme agreement, I'm feeling jealous here. Am I supposed to know this Crowded House, or is it like
you should?
Is it as hectic as you guys are making?
You know what, Gibbs? I'm gonna mention a mate of ours. You must ask Gavin about Crowded House.
Yeah. Well, he's actually
he's a PMB boy.
Well.
He's a PMB boy. You must ask that motherfucker about Crowded House. Yeah.
Interesting. Anyways, we have to move over to high school, we transitioned to varsity.
Yes.
You did mention Durban. I'm assuming that's where it started, your varsity life, or was it elsewhere?
UCT actually.
Oh, okay. Tell us about that.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah.
You mentioned the freedom, and obviously being in boarding school, it was the one opportunity that I was just like, yay!
Yeah.
I'm proud of myself for being accepted into an LLB degree. I thought it was what I wanted to do, but once you get that opportunity for freedom and you're with a huge group of like-minded individuals and real adolescence and was all about just having fun, the degree was kind of and more experiencing life was a priority, which I'm kind of glad that I did, because if I didn't, it wouldn't have driven me in the direction.
And besides the degree, I think with the law faculty, if I can put it like that, it requires you to be indoors
all time.
So it's like super intensive study, back to back.
You can't be thinking crowded house when you're like in that profession. Now you can't.
Did you
and
not
it's not even
crowded
house anymore. It's all these music festivals.
Long
and
Street.
This and that. Oh, Long Street. Amazing.
You know, a lot of people speak about Long Street. Sorry, just to touch on it, since we mentioned it, we in Cape Town, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of people used to recognize Long Street as this ultimate groove area or spot. It obviously had multiple clubs and everything.
It's the Florida Road of Cape Town.
Absolutely.
I'd like to put it
on
those,
steroids. Actually.
So
it had so many different dynamics, so many different representations of culture. It was actually mind blowing to be in the city of Cape Town. Like I go to Cape Town now, and it's completely different to what I experienced when I was in varsity, because now it's more. Like the United States.
United States.
Yes, I just like to think it doesn't feel like it's in South Africa.
Just keep aware of the possibility.
It doesn't feel like it's in South Africa, because what you see.
If it were up to them, they'd have their own currency, those guys.
Absolutely.
In Cape Town.
Absolutely. Back then it was.
Can I just say something there? Throughout my entire life as a young man in South Africa, we got all the cities. We got Joburg, we got Cape Town. I don't know if Bloemfontein counts. But we've got all these places, and more than anything, the one place I had desired as a young man to end up in was Cape Town. I didn't have any real idea of what Cape Town is like, but it looks like they were hyping it quite a lot. Do you think that it met the expectations of hype? I don't know what the hype was, but is it what people are saying it is, according to your experience, of course?
Back then, that was the bottom of the list of my priorities. But now, experiencing it, yes and no. Because it creates sort of an illusion in your mind that you're living a lifestyle that you can't afford.
Keep up with.
Sustain.
You can't
sustain. You can't and it becomes a mirage, because then you start to mold yourself into an individual that needs to upkeep with what the city is like. So individuality gets lost. I'm not saying that there's people that live there that aren't like confident in who they are, but it's a tricky place to be.
So basically you can easily get lost in Cape Town.
Very easy.
Like easily lose yourself.
100%.
Eminem.
Exactly.
Sorry,
exactly.
I'm busy blabbering on about a lot of stuff. She referenced that she's originally from Tanzania. And given my limited knowledge about shit that is going on outside, I just have to ask. So in Tanzania, I think they speak Swahili.
They do speak Swahili.
How bad or good is yours? Yours Swahili. That's where I'm going, actually.
Okay, oh boy.
Can you speak some?
Not much.
Very limited.
The basics, the hellos and highs.
But funny enough, like if I'm in trouble and my mom or dad speaks in Swahili, all of a sudden
you can understand.
It just clicks back in, and then you're like, okay, here we are.
Can I tell you something there? And now we're on this whole Swahili thing. I only know like one phrase. in Swahili. And I heard it on a Michael Jackson music video.
Okay.
Do you know Liberian Girl?
Yes.
I think it's like
Nakupenda pia, nakutaka pia panzi.
I'm like, yeah, that's where I'm at. That's what I'm saying. And apparently they say it means I love you or I like you, something like that.
I love you, I like you.
Nakupenda.
Nakupenda.
I think something like that. That's the limited Swahili I know.
Yeah.
Hakuna Matata.
Okay, I didn't.
Is that Swahili?
I didn't know that.
The Lion King, Hakuna Matata.
Yes.
Hey, do you know how conscious I am every single time we chat on the pod here?
Yeah.
I always say, hey, let's be very cautious about how much we showcase our ignorance. That's Hakuna Matata. It's been going on for the longest time, and
Lion King days, Hakuna Matata. You know?
I still watch Lion King. It's one of my favorites.
I'm sure the people watching this will be like, these boys, come on, guys, come on.
Ukunambia. That's also Swahili.
What does that mean now? Ukunambia.
Why didn't you tell me?
Shit, why didn't you tell me?
Ukunambia nama mimi ninakupenda. Why didn't you tell me that I like you or something like that?
Bro, that sounds like you just drafted a whole song, like a whole track. We need Michael Jackson on the fucking...
Shoma Josie did it better, definitely.
Anyways, I was deviating from things there, obviously. So from Cape Town, transition to Durban, if I'm not mistaken.
Take me in the
Tell us about that, man.
The warmest city in South Africa.
The warmest, the hottest.
How was Durban?
Durban's a city, but it reminded me a lot of home.
Growing up here. Home as in here?
As in here, yeah. So it's like a small town, but it's a big city.
It's a very small. That's one thing I've noticed about it. It's very small. And the word gets around there very quickly.
Word gets around, but I think people also... Look, you'll always have your cliques no matter where you go.
Yeah, true.
But people are a lot friendlier. From what I had experienced in Cape Town, people were more open to accepting you into anything in Durban.
Yeah.
I just think it's when you're in a warm place, everyone's happy. There's no
chilled.
It's chilled vibes. Smoke a little of this, have a little bit of that, and you're all good. You know. I hope I can say that.
No, trust me. On the pod here, everything goes, man. Feel free. I don't want anyone to be like holding back and feeling like, oh my goodness, my mom is watching. No,
if you want to say fuck, you can say fuck.
I can say fuck. Doesn't matter. Nothing's going to happen. Trust me. Plus, I always tell OGs every time we're recording that, listen, man, don't be uptight. We're all going to watch this anyway, so you can swear as much as you want. We cool, man. So, at Durban.
Yes.
And then I would assume this is like post-varsity, or did you like study somewhere else there?
1 year out.
Yeah.
And then I went to Varsity College, Durban North.
Yeah.
Okay.
Initially, I wanted to do criminology and psychology.
Criminology?
Yeah.
It is somehow along the lines of law.
Yes. And obviously with my father and the role that he played being a pathologist, it had always interested me, and CSI has like always been one of my favorites.
Yes.
So I thought, okay, why not?
Yeah.
Very interesting, got bored, which seems to be a trend, I see.
Getting bored.
Yes.
Consistency in one field. Yeah.
And then it was advertising and marketing. And I think I've always been, and I mentioned to Audra earlier, I'm like the dark black sheep of the family who's so far off the rest of the family because I've always been a creative, because I've always thought
but I mean,
like
Anita,
art was important.
But I mean, Anita, you can't call yourself the dark black sheep of the family. It's who you are. You understand?
100%.
And you can't be apologetic about that.
You shouldn't actually feel bad at all.
Yeah,
I think
it's who you are.
It's look. I don't know if it's just my case, but growing up in a black family, there's expectations that you have to achieve. And I was always fearful of showcasing my true self, which is why I just kind of did what I had to do, which did give me interest, don't get me wrong. And I had the intelligence to do it. It just wasn't, it just didn't fulfill me.
It didn't like materialize.
So it didn't fulfill me because that's why I got bored. And then when I started advertising and marketing, I realized that with advertising and marketing, it fits into everything and anything that you do.
And if you look
as
at
a doctor, as a nurse, as a prison ward, it ties into the way you market and advertise yourself. Is the way of life.
True.
I mean, Anita, even doctors, if you've got a target of particular clients, it all boils down to how you market yourself to attract the desired
how your branding looks, how your welcome area looks. It all ties in, and I think back in our day, I'd like to think I'm old.
When you say back in our day, you're talking about like 1976. What are you talking about? Yeah,
sometimes I feel like a granny. But back then, these kinds of things weren't taken seriously.
Yes.
Like if you think about it, and we were discussing this earlier, tech, IT, how the world is moving. If you had to tell your mom that you wanted to do something in IT when we were younger, she'd look at you, slap you, and say, you're wasting my money, right?
Do you think I'm going to spend...
I mean, sorry, Gibbs. I mean, like, even now, if you're sitting at home, like the older parent would be like, okay, what are you doing? What are you doing? But you on your, like, you communicating on emails, you know, you
doing webinars.
They're not understanding.
They're not understanding.
Yeah.
To them, it's like you've got nothing to do. You know,
they're like, you're wasting time here and fucking blowing money for fun. We're tired of fucking spending this money.
Exactly.
I know, parents. I know.
So that made it a bit difficult.
When you spoke about Durban, Anita, you referenced marketing.
Yes.
And when you spoke about marketing, even though you slightly touched on it, RedBull came to my mind because I once saw you in the mini Copa.
You're supposed to have a can of Red Bull right here. Where's the Red Bull?
I should have got the case.
So obviously there was a career somewhere down there in marketing, I would assume, in RedBull. How was that?
That was the goal. Like I said to you guys when I gave you the profile, there were two companies that were my key vision on my vision board. That was Coca-Cola and RedBull.
Okay. And can I just ask why particularly RedBull or Coca-Cola? Let's focus on the RedBull because that's what transpired.
Yes.
I think with RedBull, you've got a bigger chance at the international network, I think.
Absolutely. Same with Coca-Cola. But for me, RedBull fitted my personality. It spoke to me in its principles and its morals and how it functioned. Do cool shit and apologize later. Anti-authoritarian. Be extreme. And I'm sure you've seen the pink banners flapping around Hope Street. But it's about being bold, authentic, unapologetically yourself. And when I had the opportunity, my goal was to go into marketing. But I landed up in sales, and boy, oh boy, it was probably the best experience, toughest.
So when you say sales, like what is it that you were doing at RedBull with regards to sales?
I started as they call it a striker. Which is a sales rep. Yes.
Can you just elaborate on that for the listeners? Maybe.
Yes. So a striker is a sales rep. An execution expert that looks after retail. Gas, so it obviously looks after your retail channels. With listing products, ensuring that you've got price compliance. You obviously have your market base, you've got your territory, and you just maintain the execution and ensure that we deserve and get the right market share. So it's about communicating with the owners, understanding shopper psychology, insights, to ensure that you get the value of what your brand is valuable for.
So all in all, you are like the Lionel Messi of RedBull. RedBull, what is it? RedBull Durban? What do we call it? What's the region's name?
It's RedBull South Africa. RedBull ZA.
Oh, the whole country.
Yes. Well, I was in Durban. I was in Durban. Yes.
You know what? Now that we on RedBull, there's a couple of things I stumbled across when I was busy being a keyboard warrior. Among the stories that I picked up on the net there, I saw that you actually once upon a time had an opportunity to attend Formula One. I think it was the Miami Grand Prix, if I'm not mistaken. Did you end up going? What the fuck? How was it?
Bloody COVID.
COVID sabotaged you.
I did not end up going.
You missed out.
I did.
Max Verstappen?
Look, I mean, for me, it was Miami. Max was always going to win. We knew that. I mean, he's still winning now. So, but it was the Miami, obviously the launch of the Miami Formula One to the strip where it was based. It was a huge opportunity, and it was actually my first time managing the liquor team. And our team won. And I'm sure you saw, I'm a pusher. I will always chase the dangling carrot that keeps moving, but I'm also competitive and ambitious. So it was heart-wrenching to watch them all fly away.
So due to COVID, all of this didn't happen.
Due to COVID.
Fuck,
and you know what? I didn't even feel like shit. I felt normal. That's the worst part.
Dog, can I tell you something? There's very few people in the country that will ever get an opportunity to find themselves sitting at the fucking Miami Grand Prix with RedBull. And there's Anita. Everything is sorted.
And then COVID fucks everything up.
You must have been gutted.
If I was dying and had an oxygen tank, then I would understand. But I was sitting there like, I'm fine. Please.
Can I just
those opportunities don't come like every day, eh?
They really don't.
Can I just say something there? Now that we COVID, there was a time, I think it was 2021. And I tested with like my partner at the time. We've been chilling together. We were together. Everything. She tested negative and I tested positive.
Shit.
And in me testing positive for COVID, I had nothing. Like when I say nothing, I mean I could hit the Comrades Marathon and finish it, and my lungs will still be functioning properly. Not that I'll literally complete the Comrades Marathon because fuck, I'm unfit as fuck. But there was like nothing wrong with me. Like, absolutely. But they said that I tested positive and I couldn't be in certain places. Blah blah blah.
I think we didn't understand COVID, man. Like it was like, what was COVID? Because
I don't think anyone understood it.
Exactly.
Hey, look, man. COVID was around according to what they were saying. Of what was being said at the time. At the back of my head, I don't want to say I did not believe it. Maybe I did believe it. But I think more than anything, let's leave the belief system or whether you did or you didn't. I think more than anything, people were just very terrified about it, and then whenever they were told they have it, they went into like hyperbolic shock, and then they went crazy. No, they didn't go crazy, but they lost themselves. You know what I mean? And then that's when all the other sicknesses that they had that were existing already took over.
That's the case.
I think it was just super shock. Maybe it was there. I don't know, but I think a lot of people were just shocked.
But I think it's how the government portrayed COVID to us.
You understand? It was like the big bad man.
It was a big bad wolf at the time.
Like for me, having a daughter and having to take her for swine flu tests, I was like, I thought swine flu was over, which is why COVID came. So it just became like it was just like a jumble of absolute bullshit that nobody could really justify.
But anyway, guys, I don't think we should dwell on COVID a lot.
So we're just throwing 2 sentences there.
The purpose of the
20 sentences.
The purpose of the show was to get to know Anita.
Yes.
Anita must tell us, okay, yes, darling. What's happening with yes, darling?
Wait, can I just pause yes, darling? I'm gonna get to yes, darling, but I wanna build to it.
Build up to the climax.
So we're going back to RedBull. So at the time of RedBull, obviously my fingers were working there on the keyboard. I came to realize that you're among the first females. Can adjust, it's fine. You're among the first females to be spearheading a certain position at RedBull. And you know, with the controversy or the chaos or the expectation and the thoughts, call it what you want, that's going on around females finding themselves in positions where they
dominant
have to.
Positions.
How was your experience being a female that is in such positions in such a huge corporate in South Africa?
Look, I don't want to put any other females down. Being the only girl in the family,
Can I just adjust?
Sorry. There we go. Being the only girl in the family, middle child. It wasn't so much of a challenge when it comes to handling the men in the room. Just because I've had to grow up in that kind of environment. But it was a constant chase to prove people wrong.
Okay.
So it was always putting in the extra work, the extra hours. That's why I said I'm ambitious. I'm very competitive. I was always just gunning. If this is where you need me to be, I'm going there. If this is where you need me to be, I'm going there. Just because I felt like I had to prove my place in the team.
And to change the narrative, obviously.
And then I think also being African at the same time, it becomes a challenge, but at the same time, being African in South Africa, it's tough because if you're not South African,
Yes.
There's that whole dynamic.
There's that whole dynamic shift.
Then you got to juggle between all of these things. But if there's one thing I can say about working for that company, I have never felt more comfortable in being my true self.
Yes.
Because that's what they allow you to do. They create an environment where you do you, as long as you achieve what's expected.
Yeah.
Be yourself.
Yeah.
And I think if it wasn't for working at RedBull, I wouldn't have had the cojones or the balls.
Yeah. The bulls.
Yeah.
You mess with the bulls, you get the whole.
Hey.
I don't know where that came from, but I just felt like saying it. Yeah.
I wouldn't have had the balls to take a risk like I did in business.
Okay, interesting stuff. Before ODs jumps on to other things, there's one last thing I have to ask with regards to Red Bulls and Anita. Again, I came to realize that at some point you managed to meet up with our bestest captain, my captain. The only. The Springbok number one.
Kolisi.
So
I did that. Yes, my voice can get that deep.
Wait, guys, can I just 1 second there? I hit the buff on the camera.
Okay.
I'm sure you noticed that I had to jump and then had to
no problem.
Nah, but
you guys can
the audio is still live.
We still don't see a Kolisi.
Oh, I can. Oopsie.
The audio is still
see a
live.
Kolisi, by the way.
Listen, that moment.
Back on. How the fuck was the experience? Because listen, I think I would kill like 2 babies and a little bit to meet him.
I guess.
I'm lying, of course. I'm just saying. That's how much I wanted.
No, it's okay. You can say it out loud.
Anyways, how was the experience?
Look, it was a surprise.
All right.
Obviously because Red Bull hadn't launched that Siya Kolisi was a Red Bull athlete at the time. So we were at conference and then they said, okay, the master of ceremonies going to come in. So everyone's like kind of looking around, like what's happening. Yeah. And then they're playing like South African music. So everyone's like, oh no, it's going to be an artist, it's going to be a rapper, it's going to be AKA, it's going to be. Yeah. And then next minute, Siya Kolisi comes from behind, walking down towards the stage. Look, I know it's still a couple good friends of mine.
This is like captain of the Springboks.
Dude, it was a couple of my mates who still work there climbed. To like jump and hug and hold his leg, and I'm like, walk up with you. Married nogal, but it was mind blowing.
Yeah,
I think for me, not just seeing him. I don't know the song because obviously he comes from Eastern Cape and there's a lot of people. There's a song that one table started singing, and it's obviously all of us from this side.
Yes.
The side of KZN. They started singing the song and he actually just stood up.
Yeah.
And sang and came and danced with us all at the table. Which, it just built that connection.
But you can see that's a true Eastern Cape boy. But
it's humanized him, which I think is so important. I think it's with any celebrity, anyone that reaches that stature, you forget that he's
a celebrity.
The same person.
Yes.
We the same. Our blood is the same. And it humanized him in a way that, look, all the white people were like, huh? But everyone else was like on the tables, on the chairs.
Chanting.
And he was part of it. I didn't know the words, but I felt the spirit. I felt the energy. And that's what I love so much about him. He's still...
Was this a pre or post 2019 World Cup title? Had we just taken the World Cup, or was it before?
Pre.
No, you didn't get to experience the proper package.
Look, I did get to experience him coming to the office every now and then once he moved to Durban to be part of the shop. So that was great. But it was still the build up.
I'm still hating on you, by the way. I'm just saying.
It's okay.
Why?
Should I phone him and tell him to come to the podcast?
Do you have his number? If you got his number, I will call him myself.
No,
I will call him myself.
Rachel might kill me.
So, ODs, man, I'll cut you off a couple of times, man. Did you have anything to ask?
No, I just wanted to understand. Anita must explain the business that she's running currently.
Okay.
Yeah. What's happening with Yes, Darling?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes, darling.
Yes, darling. Yeah. It's darling, honey.
Before she commences, can I just ask, why the name Yes, Darling?
Oh, it's a feminine name, man.
I wanted to ask her, would you consider yourself feminist by any chance? Partly.
Yes and no.
Yeah.
But I don't know if you remember 101 Dalmatians.
The dogs.
Anita Dahling was my nickname when I was younger. So I thought of, and you look at a lot of businesses these days, it's BTG, like it has no meaning. It has, look, to them at night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I've always been a very emotive person that needs to find a connection to something that I do.
Yeah.
So I played around with a couple of names, and I actually pictured the receptionist answering the phone. Yes, darling, how may I help you?
Oh, wow.
And then I was like, okay, wait, that sticks.
Yeah.
And it doesn't limit me to what I can do, because it's not like Anita events or Dahling events.
Yes.
Because where we are now isn't
smart move, actually.
It isn't the end of what's to come.
Yeah. You pretty much simplified everything.
Yeah.
Without restricting yourself in any possible way in the future.
100%.
You're like,
and
yes,
it's
darling.
personal to me.
Yes, darling could be a motor
And then I added the H to like make it darling. Just a little bit. Who doesn't want to be bougie?
Goodness.
Darling. I know, I told you my dad says I can't spell. But it was on purpose.
Yeah. All right, cool. I hear it. I feel like I speak too much. Oh, you got something to ask, Anita?
Oh, man. I've also, Anita, what I want to ask about the yes, darling.
Yes.
She must explain that.
Okay, fine.
And she did. So, yeah, we call that.
We've got yes, darling going on.
Okay,
currently.
so we hit 1 year, October this year.
Yes.
I had the opportunity, once I'd moved back, to purchase Wild Orchid Events.
Okay.
Which was run by Tanya Junkel.
Okay.
And look, I'm so grateful to her, because I believe that there were a lot of people that were interested, and she held out.
Okay.
And chose you.
Yes. And look, it's a difficult decision, because I believe your business is like your child. You can't just give it away to anyone.
Yes.
And I thought I needed to personalize it. And please don't judge me, people in Coxted.
No.
But I feel like Coxted is grey and beige and just
the dullest color scheme.
It's just like, it's kind of dead.
Yes.
So I feel like I had a purpose to be here, and why not make everyone feel like a darling and do a big ass bold pink and mustard fucking logo.
So wait, Anita, tell me, before you purchased the business, what was she doing? What was she doing? The
Wild Orchids. She still ran. So it was a decor hire. She did weddings,
jumping castles.
Pretty much exactly the same thing.
Events, decoration, and
she was the only events company here. Yes.
Okay.
And I rebranded. Opened a private corporation.
Okay.
And have changed Wild Orchids from just a hire to an events management business. And I think through my experience working with RedBull.
Can we just take a moment to give Anita a shout out for her efforts and what she has? Shout out to Anita for doing what she does.
Yay!
From Wild Orchids to Yes, darling.
Yes, darling.
Sorry, I cut you off, but you can carry on. You were saying you took it from?
Yeah, so I found a niche in the market.
Yeah.
Obviously, coming from a city and metros, I just don't understand why we can't have the same thing here. So instead of just being a decor hire, I have transformed Yes Darling to an events management business.
Okay.
Where it's not necessarily about just doing a wedding, a baby shower. It's about business proposals, concept creation, brand affiliation. Okay. I mean, I've sent you a couple messages on ideas that I have on how you need to have a brand identity. It's all the experience that I had working for the likes of these massive international brands. Why not bring it here?
Interesting
stuff. So that's my plan. I don't know if people dig it. I feel like Cox's spitting me out.
You're speaking about the move to Coxted, our dearest town here. Yeah. You know, it naturally occurs that one has to ask, what could have inspired the shift from where you were, which in this case I would assume Durban,
yes,
to all the way here in this 3-robot town of ours.
Guys.
More than 3. It's like 3.5.
Guys, don't say that, guys.
People on books are going to punish me, guys. No. I didn't mean that literally. I was just emphasizing on how
3.5 are like 1,000 potholes.
The town is. Yes, sorry. Forgive me for that one. Carry on.
My whole life changed when I became a mum.
All right.
And I worked through the major roles that I was in as a single mother. I had a live-in nanny.
Yeah.
And it was tough. Look, it's hard. Yeah. As a female, you always want to climb the corporate ladder to prove yourself. Yeah. But at the same time, you've got to be a mum. So I was split between the two. And things didn't work out like I expected them to. And I had the greatest childhood here. So I couldn't think of anywhere else to go but bring my daughter home.
Yeah.
And boy, oh boy, does she love it.
I actually saw her daughter. There was a function. What is this event they have at St. Patrick's here? Wacky Winter. Yeah. I was there.
Was she the crazy one running around like that shit?
I saw the attachment in the bond that was going on. I was like, she has to be the one. Oh, God. Beautiful.
You know how I know the daughter?
Beautiful girl. Yeah.
Her brother's my friend. So
yes.
He used to Skype her a lot. Like, hello, Nia. Yeah. I'm like, whenever he's speaking to Nia, he gets too excited. I'm like, guys, relax, bruh. Relax.
Yeah.
Now she knows how to Skype herself. I'm very worried.
I got to see her there, and I was like, oh, okay, Anita, there's a toddler going on here. Sorry, I have to push this out.
But motherhood can change one's life, eh?
Ooh, tell me about it. Tell me about it.
And fatherhood can change one's life as well.
Parenting can change one's life.
Just
how was the transition from like being a person with obviously not a child and then finding yourself in a position where you've got
difficult.
A child? When you say difficult challenges, what are the challenges you were experiencing?
Most of the time I blocked it in the back of my head like, I don't have a kid. Which is sorry to the mums out there. But I was in such and like I told you, I'm going to be brutally honest. I had a plan. I was going to get to the top and move overseas, and like it was obviously proving myself to get up the ladder. And then she came into my life. I had challenges with the dad. It was very, very tough. So I just kind of managed my environment by just throwing toys and a nanny and just to take care of her, because at that time I hadn't accepted it. It just hadn't sunk quite in.
It hadn't logged
because that's what they do. They kind of like creep in and see your heart. And it started reaching the stage when I had to travel early hours of the morning, and she'd wake up and cry when I was rolling my suitcase out the door. Like, Mommy, why do you have to go? And then I'd miss so many things when I'd had to leave. And be so focused on my job that if she had something exciting to say, I'd be like, shh, I've got to get this done. And then moving back home, I realized I missed so much, and I didn't know how much I needed her, because through my toughest times climbing that corporate ladder, when I was having a bad day, she'd just come and put her head on my lap without even knowing what I was going through.
It's gonna be better.
It's the intuition of a kid it's mind-boggling.
It's unexplainable. It's beyond.
And actually, Eddie, my little brother, told me something. He was like, God gave you your daughter because you needed a best friend that would be there to hold your hand. Because you're tough and you needed someone soft in your life.
Yo, Anita is making it sound all very nice and romantic to have a child.
It's so much fun, they say.
Tell you something. Every time I think about myself having a child, I'm like, fuck, I need to make money and pay bills.
Listen.
That's all I think about.
Which is true.
Apart from the expense, I think kids are a blessing, guys. Apart from the expense,
they just bring
a blessing, a very expensive blessing. I'm sure. Can I just say something? Can I just say something there? I think at this point, people have come to realize that Anile, yes, he does have kids, and he probably does his best to take care of his kids. But to sit down and to think Anile is going to be like, Anile loves kids. I love my kids, but goddamn, I don't love my finances fucking dropping like a hot potato. Guys, kids are expensive. Okay, I've been saying this. I think I've said this on almost every single episode I speak about it. People are tired of me, but
I'm gonna just. I mean, I was expensive before here, so I can't really. Which is true. I think if you just think about the lifestyle that we lived before having kids, and we were having a discussion outside. Back in the day, happy. I'm gonna buy a bottle of champagne for $5,000. Great. Now I'm like, school fees, shoes.
Gone are those days.
What did you say, Anita?
Yeah.
There was something you mentioned just now.
Yes.
It touched me. What did you say? School fees.
Oh no, God.
Oh wow.
Well, look, I mean,
when you said school fees, I died partly
it's like
because
it does.
every single day
burns a hole in my soul.
That's all I think about. I'm like, okay, Anele, as much as you're not a serious man yesterday, you need to be serious now because the school fees account is due.
It's
Whack hard.
But
anyways, our interpretations are different. Yeah. They're very different. But anyways, yeah. Odis, I wanted to say something.
You keep on asking me this, man.
Yeah, because I sometimes feel like I talk. I feel like I talk so much, né? I feel like I talk so much.
I mean, I'm so happy to meet someone that's a chatty Kathy.
Yeah, I try. Okay, listen.
Based on him asking me, do I want to say anything? Quite this other chick that I met today. Yeah. So no, it's work affiliated.
I was getting anxious.
No, relax. No.
Did she say I'm
trying to have a heart attack?
Listen, it's work affiliated. She's like, hey, I look at your podcast with Aden. He's like, hey, how do you survive Aden? I'm like, what do you mean? How do I survive Aden?
He talks too much.
He's like, hey, he talks that boy. I'm like, my man. I'm like, okay, how do you know him? No, she used to work in Mount Live.
Yeah.
So every now and again, she used to catch a lift with you going down.
Like was this like as kids or something?
No. We are hiker. Like going to Mount Live for 7
Does she have a name?
He doesn't know.
Okay, I'll carry on.
So one day we either talk to a point whereby she'd zone out and like going to sleep mode and go time, and then she comes back to reality and you're still talking.
Wow. oh wow. I didn't know I talked that much. I've always known I speak, but I didn't know that I speak.
No, you should be proud.
That much.
It's good. You keep people company is good.
Okay, fine. I'm about to go back to Anita again.
So I must talk now.
Yes, you got no choice, Anita. It's your show.
It's
today.
my time.
Yeah. Yep. So I don't know how you're gonna take this, but so
throw it at
St. Patrick's, silly summer, chilling.
Yeah.
Anita there, toddlers running. There's a toddler. It's Anita's daughter. I identify. Wow, hey. Yeah. She looks like a first gen. Do you know what a first gen is?
What is a first gen?
First generation of colored. Did you know that term by any chance?
I didn't actually.
Okay, cool. That's a term I created in my head.
But scientifically, I know what you mean.
Yeah, first generation.
Like biologically.
I think Anita also knows as well what it means. Can you just top it up? Actually, wait. Before we carry on with this first gen chat that we're having going on there, can we just allow ourselves the opportunity to have another shot?
Oh, Lord save me.
Does anyone need to be escorted back home here? Or
no.
And then we drink.
The car drives itself, doesn't it?
Yeah. I told you, Elon Musk never neglected us as South Africans. He made sure that when he implemented the system of a car driving itself, he's going to give it to us.
But what happens when the robots take over and it just drives you off the cliff?
I don't know.
Are you guys sticking to these neat shots now?
Yeah, bro. We need to have another one.
It could be cooled.
Yo, but Anita, you poured like, man. You poured like a man. Full glass. Jesus Christ. I'm going to wait for you guys to pour as well, actually. Oh, Diesel, you can't be running away from this one, brother.
Oh, God.
We are taking these shots like champions.
Yeah.
Listen, YOLO, guys.
Yeah.
You only live once and we old as fuck, so you never know.
Yeah. I had a couple of grey hairs growing on my chin. Yeah. And I was phased. I was very sad about that. Guys, cheers.
Yeah.
Oopsie. Okay. Cheers.
Yes. I was just joking, guys. I'm not going to drink mine. Anyways,
what the fuck?
So back to what I was saying.
I think you just died a slow death. Why would you do that to me? Good.
Oh my goodness.
I said, yeah.
I don't think my parents are going to be happy watching me doing this.
I
kind
don't
of
think
shit,
my parents are going to be happy with this.
Anyways,
unless I get a bottle for my dad.
Back to the nonsense I was busy chatting. Can I tell you something?
Yes.
I keep like a log of my notes here, and I always tick them off every time I speak with
Did
them.
I send down I sent a whole essay. Hey?
Yes, I saw that one. Shakespeare's got nothing on you, by the way. Shakespeare's got nothing on you.
I do get excited.
I can't keep track of my notes because I was like,
sorry.
I usually click, but now it's like the alcohol is taking over. Sorry, back to the first gen.
Tonic.
So, Anita, you've come to like know what a first gen is. And
yes.
Out of curiosity, I have to ask, how did you find yourself in a position where you are producing the most beautiful first generation of...
We need to consider the viewers that are going to be watching this. Explain first gen.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Start there.
Would you guys really like me to explain that?
No, because
So,
some people
it might
understand.
get confusing.
Yeah, some people might not understand.
For some.
But do you guys get it though?
I get it.
I feel like I just created a word and everyone's confused. Okay, never mind. So according to Anele, a first gen is a first generation of colored. Yeah. When you say first generation of colored, it means
the mixed masala.
Either the mother or the father is of black ethnicity, and the father is of white ethnicity. Yeah. If you combine them, then you're gonna get the product.
The first one.
The first generation. The first generation.
Yes.
It only became normal for me to be like curious.
Yeah.
Look, I met Nia's dad in Joburg. He's Portuguese.
All right.
Where she gets the gorgeous hair from, which I'm going to grow and cut and make myself a wig.
You know, when you say Portuguese, I was like, obrigado. That's the only thing I know about it.
Yes, Portuguese. Look, things didn't work out too well.
Yeah.
But it was kind of a meet cute moment. A lot older than me, divorced. So I kind of thought, okay, yay. Okay. You've done your dumbassity. Yeah. I just made up a word.
Yeah, that's fine. Trust me, I created a word not so long ago.
Yeah.
You've done what you needed to do.
Yeah.
Only to realize that there were certain situations that highlighted that it might have been a lie. Always going to my spaces, never going to his spaces. Oh. You know, you start to pick up on trends. Yeah. And then obviously when I said I was pregnant, he wanted nothing to do. Nothing to do with us.
That's
you see now.
Yeah.
These are the kind of serious conversations I was hoping not to put myself in, and then here I am.
Well, look, it's life, it's reality. I took the bull by the horns.
Yes.
And went to children's court and got full custody. So if he wants to see his child, he can.
Yeah,
but
he doesn't deserve to see the child, man.
And I think that's a situation we all need to accept, no matter female or male, because there's a lot of moms that leave their kids.
Yeah.
It's unfortunately the reality of the world that we live in, because everyone's just give me fun, and then baby comes, and then
problem,
bitch.
Having fun.
Exactly, and then it's like deuces, I'm out. But it's the reality of what happens, and the sad thing is 10 years later, they'll wake up and say, oh, that's my baby. Where have you been for 10 years?
Yeah.
So
and
I
you know
needed to protect.
And you know what the sad part is, when Anita, the child themselves, now once they grow up, they're going to start demanding the father. You're like, hey, do you know this bastard, he left you AWOL here?
That's
Can we not tune the gas so badly, though? What if he's a good guy at
I don't
heart?
give a fuck. Yeah. Sorry. But, I mean, he can defend himself if he wants to. But he hasn't shown up, and my relationship with my dad is unreal. Like, we fight.
Yeah.
But there is one person that will always have my back, and that's my dad.
Yeah.
And a father and daughter relationship is so important, because it teaches you how to pick men moving forward.
Yeah.
Or the ones that you decide to have forever with.
Yeah.
And I've got a lot of friends that are single parents, and the dads are like popping in, and then there's disappointment. That creates daddy issues in a girl. And then they start to
stripper poles,
become slay queens. And I just want to say that's the story of the life. But it intended. Sorry
Anita,
to any slay queens.
You know that we've got slay queens watching this.
Anita, 2 seconds. Are you aware that
that's my opinion.
The slay queens are going to be gunning for you right now?
Yeah.
No, but
I don't mean that literally.
It's my opinion, but I believe that. It's the relationship.
Say allegedly or something.
No, it's my opinion. I'm allowed to have it. Like, it's not fact. It's Anita fact.
It's your opinion.
But it is. It's what we surround ourselves with. It's what the media shows us. It's what we read. It's what those are the foundations of how we become people when we're growing up. So as a young girl, having a dad disappointing her constantly is going to create a mindset that this is an expectation of how my life should be. And I have the most incredible dad and the most incredible mom, and seeing their foundation, I was just like, look, I went left and I shouldn't have gone left. I should have gone right. But I did. It's not about that.
It's not about going left or right, Anita.
Yeah, the serious convos we're having here.
You went left or you went right according to...
You said this
I feel bad for bringing it up, actually.
No, look, I'm happy with having the conversation because I think it's something that needs to be had. And I think females are afraid of talking, but I feel like keeping quiet's not going to get you anywhere, right?
Yeah. So, as you were chatting,
I was saying with going left or right, that is the people's perspective. But at the end of the day, you going left or right is you. You must not hide who you are.
100%. My left did a U-turn and
you must not be ashamed
came right.
of your actions. You understand what I'm trying to say?
Because your actions are your adverse. 100%.
Okay. Can I just suppress
We're getting
it?
too personal.
Can I just suppress it slightly?
Okay, can we stop talking?
Can I just suppress it slightly? Yo, guys, I know I brought up the whole conversation.
Well, it doesn't have to be so deep. It's just the truth needs to be told, and I think no one...
And the folk listening here also need to be informed and they're aware of what the real
young women that are in situations like this and don't know what to do.
When you say
own yourself, protect yourself.
I think when you say there's a lot, you need to emphasize on the lot. There is a lot of young women that are in such situations. And anyways, on a lighter note, this is me trying to withdraw. I'm trying to withdraw from the seriousness.
From the tension.
It's so serious.
Can I just go back? Can I just slightly go back to my finger warrior moments here?
Yes.
2010. 2010, I believe, was one among the best experiences or the best lifetimes that you've had in your time.
That I can remember.
2010 World Cup. That's when all the World Cup was going on and the action was bopping. And Anita, if I did research correctly, she's like, the rand was weak and people did not identify.
No, they didn't get it.
Can you explain that bit on the currency differences at the time? Because you were which place or which part of South Africa were you were at?
I was in Durban.
Let's hear
Beachfront, babes. Joe Cools, People's Park. Listen.
How was the rand doing poorly at the time?
No, the thing is,
for us, in comparison to the dollar and the pound and so you like 100 rand, you give me 100 pound. I'm like, do you want change? They're like, no.
Can I just tell Odie something quickly before you carry on? Sorry, Anita. At the time, the rand was weak, which I didn't know. And Anita managed to maximize that opportunity. And I'm interested to hear that bit. Let's hear it.
Okay. Well, firstly, it was the fact that they didn't know the difference. So 100 rand, 100 pound. Do you want change? No. And I happen to be one of 3. I want to say brown skin, colored girl, Indian girl, myself. But yes, I am dark chocolate. So.
Yes, darling.
We got.
So like there was a line and it was just, and I was just like, yeah. But the problem is with quick money is quick spending. So I would, after ship, we'll go to the jewel. Let's have a good time. I'm
a bit confused.
Pop some bottles.
Anita, can you just slightly explain when you said that was
in the bra,
and then was my
wallet.
The foreign chaps
we were supposed to
spending over their heads?
Yeah, because they didn't know what the change was.
Oh shit, God.
So it was, do you need change? No. Okay, because you said 100. Okay, that's $100.
I can imagine it was actually quite a time for like tourism. And
I thought I would have been flown away somewhere. Sadly not.
I'm about to tease you there. Maybe to Portugal, perhaps.
Oh, yeah.
Did you check her face reaction? She was like,
I was like, oh God, no, you didn't.
Yeah, Portugal. Anyways, yeah, I was just concerned about that, and I was wondering, like, 2010.
That was, I think, if being in Durban, that was when Durban was on its peak.
Yeah.
Where just everything worked and people just moved fluidly. There was no conflict. There was no fights. There was no the KZN riots that we experienced a couple of years ago.
At the time.
That was probably, and you know, I'm not saying I don't believe in God, but I do. I speak to Him when I need to.
Yes.
When you need to.
Yes. Condition. There's a condition.
Well, look, I grew up Catholic, so there's a conformity in being Catholic, and that's something that I just felt like was closing me in a box. So I speak to Him when necessary, not when I need to. And there was something inside me that said, this is the opportunity.
He's the Iceman.
I'm the barman. I'm the Iceman.
Iceman.
Fuck you, man.
I'll do the shot.
Please. Yeah, sorry, Anita, you were saying something.
There was something that told me to bring Nia home. Because that was before the ban of travel.
Yes, COVID times.
Yes. Yeah. So no, it was more riot times, not COVID times.
Oh, the
KZN, you know when they put Jay-Z in the cell and then shit went.
The looting.
That was bad.
Yeah.
So there was something inside that said, "Take Nia home," which I did.
Yeah.
And we lived in, I still have my flat there. We are in Morningside, which is by Greyville Racecourse, Tronic.
Did you pour me a shot by any chance?
I did. Yeah, it was a single.
Yeah, you were.
It was like my single.
There was something going on in there.
Yes. And she came home and things just turned left, and I was in Morningside, which is by Greyville Racecourse, across the road from Greyville Racecourse. CBD went crazy, gunshots, you couldn't leave your home, you walked outside. I have actually, like, in my life, I've never seen an old granny with a fucking semi-automatic weapon standing outside going like, come.
if you're brave enough, come.
And then they're like, do you want a gun? I don't know how old that's. It was a very tough time.
Those KZN
riots. Hectic. What are they?
Quite wild, if you ask me.
They were extreme.
So,
but that was easier than...
There's a clip of some old man there circulating. Ume's frigine. He's taking a selfie of himself with jive pies like...
Did you see the guy with the forklift?
No, but what I do know is that I need to reset the buffer for the last time.
Oh, damn.
Hold on, 2 seconds. You guys can still speak though.
We're going on to like now an hour and a half now.
Over now.
Yeah.
So I told you I talked too much.
This is quite a lot.
Excuse me, have you met yourself?
Can I tell you something there? The way we're chilling there. Yeah. I'm busy trying to maneuver around my notes here. I'm like,
okay, let's
forget the notes. I'm too drunk to care. Actually, those shots kicked ass, bro.
Who initiated the shots? Was me or you?
Yeah, it was his idea.
No, it was him. It was him, and then I had no choice but to just agree to it. Okay, usually when we're approaching, not usually when we're approaching, but. Yeah. As we approach the closing stage of the podcast, I have a couple of maybe serious questions that I'd love to ask.
We can vape.
Yay!
It's cool. Yeah.
No, you can vape. Trust me, it's fine. Anita?
Yes.
Given every single thing that you've gone through, experiences, the tough hardship and ups and downs, call it what you want. I have to ask.
Yes.
In terms of role models or some inspirational individual that you have in your life, who would you say helps you to carry yourself through all the chaos?
Valid question, yeah.
I think that was the first time I'm serious, actually.
It's the shots.
It's the first time we didn't do it.
Yo, bro. Yeah, but we're there. Let's hear it.
Look, there's a few. Yeah. But I think the most integral and pivotal person in my life is my mum.
Yeah.
Look, we fight all the time. But I think we're very similar.
Yeah.
But if it wasn't for her, she wouldn't have taught me the work ethic and the sorry, mum.
Just the grind.
Not give a fuck.
Yeah.
Statement, because that's how my mum is. She's like, the world's going to hate you, and what are you going to do about that?
Yeah.
From a female perspective, it's my mom. My dad is my pillar. But it's the silent one. It's Eddie, my little brother. He's just that foundation that is always there when it's crazy how he knows when I'm like having a wobble or like about to explode, and he'll phone me at that time just to center my mind and just remind me of what's important. And he's very cool, calm, collected, gathered. And like sometimes I'm like, okay, be a judge. I'm like, just listen to me scream. But and I think it's the dynamic of my family. Same as my older brother, Pius. I love him to bits and pieces. He has got the most innovative ideas. He's just, I think everyone kind of balances each other out, but I'm always the loud one. So and then it's always like, shut up, Anita. But if it is a foundation when it comes to like integral that's close to me, immediate. But overall, hiya, Angelou.
Okay, I hear it. The last question. Wait, unless you got more questions.
Nah, we need to you don't got it.
OD is the tired of talking. Apparently, I'm the chatterbox. We are well over an hour. But we've got 30 minutes until we hit the buffer. So I think we can carry on. Okay, fine. I'll still throw more of the serious questions. So what advice would you give like young women who look up to you as a role model?
Jeez, are they looking up to me?
I'm sure there's like some people who do. Anita. Trust me, Anita, trust me. There is definitely there is some young girl somewhere in the streets of Kokstad that looks up to you.
Especially the females that are in the event space. You understand? I'm sure.
Because it's like you're the face of something. So what advice would you like to give those young girls that are trying themselves out in such a space?
Tough. I think life is tough on its own. I pride myself on being authentic. Honest, original, unapologetic. Like if if you don't like me, bye. But it's very difficult for females. In any industry, it doesn't matter what industry you're in. Just find what makes you tick. So like I said, I did law, criminology, and it just didn't fulfill me. And it's not like I have the vast experience or anything in events and stuff, but what I do have is I'm an emotive and empathetic person. So at the end of any job that I do, the face that my client gives me is the affirmation that I need. So just be true to yourself. Don't let anybody convince you that they can take you to where they need to take you. Make your mistakes.
Especially for females.
Oh, honey, that's how you get a blesser and you're trapped and then you have a problem. I'm not saying that I did, but just in general, that's the thing. And it's unfortunately the society and what the generation is now. I'm find a rich man, he's going to buy me.
He's going to solve my problems.
He's going to take care of me.
One day he's going to come and say, Coca. And then you got what? Nothing. But that's the truth. So it's find your true self, find what makes you tick, be unapologetically yourself, and just go through life making mistakes. Mistakes are not a problem. Mistakes are given to you to grow. That's an 100%. Obstacle for affirmation.
There's a statement that Kabani made is like, in this life that we're living, if you want to be like, if you want to enter the business space, you need to make mistakes.
You have to.
Can I tell you something? There's absolutely no ways you think you're just going to jump into the equation and then solve everything and everything right.
People assume that.
You're dreaming. No. There's bound to be errors. There's bound to be like tragedy. There's bound to be adversity. So yeah.
And I've got so many friends that are like, oh my God, like I'm so jealous. You're an entrepreneur. You're a business owner.
Guys,
would be fun, they said.
It is so difficult to be a entrepreneur.
Can I just say something?
It is hard.
You know what? The one thing I think is, I think us as people, we don't spend enough time or allocate enough time to have discussions about how difficult entrepreneurship is.
That's difficult.
Well, this is what you've done.
It's sugar coated from a distance, but now if you're wearing those shoes, my guy,
it's so fucking hectic.
It's a good thing to say, but fuck it. Yeah. It's this tender boy, tender life, fucking stockbrokers mirage that's been created on what an entrepreneur is.
Yeah.
It's not the case. And I think that's what people want to do. So I want to be a socialite and influencer.
You're basically saying that entrepreneurship is not tender boy.
No. I'm not saying. I'm just saying
the people that are distorting everything.
It's creating
it's not necessarily
illusion.
Only, but they do influence heavily.
I do tenders, but it's don't post Ferraris and this and that and like make people create an illusion that this is how I'm a.
What does it say? This one? I took offense.
Hey, Anita, can I just say something quickly? This is between us two now. Did you notice how Odo stood up? He's like, hey, what are you saying, Anita? Are you saying that Tinder's is
But the thing is...
that is my space.
You touched the wrong nerve.
But you're right. And the thing is, and it's like we've had this discussion. In the Tinder game, unfortunately, there are skewed decision-making processes. But there are a lot of people that take advantage of the situation, that ball, and then leave people stranded without executing the end result. So when I say Tinder, I'm like, don't flash your fucking Maybach Benz when you haven't finished the road for a town that needed it.
No, guys, let's not go into that, guys.
No, but I was just,
Anita, can I just say something? Can I just say something to you particularly? Be very wary about how you express yourself about things that are Tinder related. You might just offend some people. You might just offend some people. Maybe it might be my dog outside. I don't know. But listen, you might just offend some people.
Know what?
I'm joking. Fuck you.
But you know what? We all need to reach a stage of brutal honesty.
Yes.
Like it's this hiding in the shades of grey, and it's like, oh no, but I can, but I can't, but we all in a situation where we all trying, right?
We're doing our best.
So don't manipulate a situation to fool someone into believing that they can achieve something when they can't. It's 1 + 1 = 2. It's not a negative plus x, y fucking square root.
A spade is a spade.
It is.
It's not a garden spoon.
It's also the stockbrokers and all these online. I actually can't keep up. If another person inboxes me about a stock thing that I must put money in, and do you understand it? No, thank you. But I think that's
Hi guys, we're sitting at 1 hour 11 minutes.
Jesus, I told you. Am I the longest?
Can I just say, no, trust me, the Ludidi brothers
Well,
they held it. They were like, hey, we are not closing here. We can still talk even more if you guys want. I'm joking. Yeah. Anyways, in closing.
Yeah.
I'm sure Otto's like, I'm so happy. In closing.
Do you want to have a power nap?
In closing.
Do you need a pillow?
Otto is very tired. He's showing the age. Anyways.
It'd be the same age, dude.
Oh shit. No, I was going for him.
You're not.
No.
Why? I was feeling bad. Don't do that.
Guys,
oh my gosh. Anita, can I just say something? He's expecting us to feel bad about being associated with 2Ks. Trust me, we're very happy to be associated with 2Ks.
What is
I feel
2Ks?
like I just fucking grew a tail right now. I'm a young man.
Okay. What is 2Ks? I'm sorry. I'm just
2K 2000. The year 2000. Born after 2000. No. Born after 2000. That's what the 2K is.
The rebels of today.
The young ones.
The young ones. Baby.
Yeah. Anyways, back to the last question. In closing. I actually don't even know where the question is anymore. I'm too tired. Okay, I found it.
But you can't read good.
Yeah, dude, my eyes are failing me
with glasses. It's because of your shot suggestions.
Yep, bad idea. Anyways, Anita.
Yes.
Since you are here. What would you like to see more come out of this town that we are currently residing in? That's actually a simple question. I don't know. It's
actually not.
Okay, cool. Let's hear it. It's the last question, by the way. So think about it.
Okay, how much time do I have?
All the time. You got all the time.
Look, I just think Coxit has always been home to me.
Yeah.
And when I grew up here, it's completely different to what I see now.
Yeah.
And there's so much more conflict or division in what the space is now.
Yeah.
I just think that people need to be louder about who they are and showcase what opportunities they can give to the town, because it's not just about your business, it's about what we can generate for this. This is home. Yeah. I came here to raise my child at home. So let's block out all the bullshit and just create a space where it becomes more comfortable.
Yeah.
No more segregation, no more conflict, no more under the envelopes, under the table. It's
no
just like
no more thinking I know better.
No more brown envelopes.
Just like,
no
hey,
more brown envelopes.
You know what I'm saying? But it's just, we all as adults, entrepreneurs, have an opportunity to be louder or just showcase that we know.
I feel like you guys are targeting me with the brown envelopes and other tables.
Bro, what you talking about? That's your own insecurity. We're not talking about. Sorry, can I just say something?
My envelopes are brown.
Anita, like, 2 seconds. I need to attack this man. Yeah.
No, but
I need to address you, not attack you. I need to address you.
Uh-oh.
It's not as serious as I'm making it. Yeah. The show is about Anita, so I had to ask. And if you are catching strays on your own in the corner there, that's on you, bro. Asking down to you.
But
we are not participating.
But am I not right in the situation that
give Anita the light?
We're sitting in an environment where, and you guys were there. We're sitting in an environment where it is selected.
Yes.
There's the opportunities that are there are not given to everyone. Yeah. So fuck it, be loud.
Brown envelope tendencies.
Brown, just no envelope at all. Just showcase yourself, be loud about your business. Like if you have something to say it. Fuck it, you only live once. I'm not ashamed to say what I have to say. I just also be in the right tone.
Yes.
A voice where it's not an attack. It's just, I've always been solution driven. So I'm going to say fuck you, but give you an answer to your fuck you. That's my end.
Guys.
Am I right?
I'm very content for what you said. But we are sitting at 1 hour, 15 minutes.
He's about to fall asleep on the mark.
Yeah.
But I have one more question.
Oh, goodness.
I'm just joking. I wanted to see what you guys are going to say.
I think he baited you.
He loves the mic. That's the problem.
It's a Goodfellas podcast, guys. And you're chilling with the ODs. And we are fortunately blessed to with the presence of Anita Shayo.
Anita Darling, honey. It's Anita Darling.
Anita Darling. That's what it is. That's how it is. Before I carry on, I had one more thing to say.
Can I say it?
One last thing to say.
Can you make the mic pink?
Like, should I like cast the wand and then?
There we go. Thank you.
It's pink now.
Thank you.
Well, it's red. It's pink now. Anyways,
okay.
One last thing. Oh, trust me. You don't have to say anything.
Yeah.
I the whole time we're speaking here, I just came to something logged in my head.
It's a light bulb moment.
It's not serious. It's not serious. I'm making it.
And we did get
I was actually friends with your brother
Eddie.
Yes. Can I tell you something,
guys?
There was this one night. We're gonna drop it just now, guys. Whatever you're listening to now is not important.
Yeah.
So there was this one time I used to be good mates with your younger brother.
Yes.
So Eddie had a BMX. I had a BMX. So I used to like ride all the way from here to your place.
Yes.
Just gauge how far that was.
I can't
the effort that was put in.
Dog.
I mean, getting on a bike is an effort for me.
I used to to drive. Shit, I don't even think he remembers this. I used to like ride. I said drive. I used to cycle all the way to his place, and we chill, ride bicycles, do a couple of stunts. Yeah. It was BMX time back then.
Yes.
I think Tony Hawk was actually doing it. Like,
it was just trying to
it was
skateboarding phase.
Yeah. So we used to like ride BMX, and then obviously PlayStation time. I think it was a PlayStation 2. Not to sound like a fucking old individual.
No, you are old.
Okay, let's wrap this up quickly, man.
Speak faster.
We know that. Anyway,
fast forward.
I was about to tell my story about. I was about to tell an old story about an old mate of mine, but these
he'd like to hear
idiots are tired.
I want to hear it. I want to hear it.
Oh shit! There was
this
one time I used to fucking chill with Aid. He probably doesn't remember this. Yeah. It was late on a winter's afternoon. I was chilled at 5 o'clock. We were riding bicycles, enjoying. Then it was like 6 o'clock, and I had to come back home. I had to cycle all the way from Hawthorne. Is it Hawthorne? What's it?
It's Hagen Place.
Hagen Place, at the bottom of Hawthorne. I had to cycle at like fucking 6:30. Huh?
All the way to here. Jesus.
All the way to here. On a winter. And you know how brutal the winters are at Gokstad.
Hectic, man.
I had to cycle all the way here. When I got here, I was half dead. I was cold. My mom looked at me, gave me a high dick, and told me to put my hands. She told me to put my hands in like hot water because I was so fucking cold. I don't know why I told this story, but I thought
But it's Eddie will love it because he's gonna see it. Love you, Eddie.
I used to be amazed with
your wife, Klingy.
Anyways, guys, before we go, I feel like I'm burning the microphone. Before we go, Anita, would you like to throw a couple of shout outs? Maybe throw us your Insta, Twitter, Facebook, call it what you want.
Well, it's at Anita Darling, obviously.
Anita Darling.
Anita Darling, yes, darling, is my business profile. We will be closing Wild Orchids, so don't put that on.
Okay.
And website.
Your personal socials?
Personal socials.
Yeah, but start with the corporate side.
At Yes Darling on Instagram, Yes Darling page on Facebook. Yeah. Wild Orchids will be closed because now we have transformed into our new phase. Okay. And from a personal perspective, it's at Anita Darling 89. And websites are coming soon.
And then on the personal side?
Anita Darling 89.
And okay, never mind. I'm too drunk to care about anything. Geez, guys, can I just say something? Yeah. Guys, don't forget to like and subscribe. And it was a bad idea, but please, guys, when you do get the opportunity, do like, subscribe,
of this episode.
And we'll catch you in the next one.
I hope it's a hit.
It's Goodfellas. It's Anele Odis. Fortunately for us, we're
I'm chilling with my Goodfellas. You're supposed to high five me. Like, hello. Otherwise, I'm going to high five myself.
Yes. We were blessed with the presence of Anita Shayo. And obviously, like I stay saying, stay mighty, stay focused, and always keep pushing. This is a Goodfellas podcast, and we'll catch you on the next one. Cheers and goodbye.
Bye.
Infuse the refreshing citrus flavor. A gin in a class of its own. Bonjour Citrus Gin. The refreshing taste of sophistication.